Welcome to Teludyne Tech R&D and Teludyne Custom Shop. Glad you stopped by to see what we're up to today. So we have some muzzle brake testing that we want to do. We've got a BMG 50 brake that we're working on development of right now, and we've got to test it for some of the characteristics that it's going to be having. So we dug out our Stabilisator 3000 A1 shooting rest. And we move it up through from the custom shop up to our research and development range. We decided we were going to take this rest and strap it to an oak tree. It has provisions in its mounting system to do that. But we were kind of wary of the wind, didn't know for sure whether or not we were going to get any movement out of the tree trunk, which happens real easily down close to the ground, even with a light breeze. According to what we found out today, we didn't think we had enough breeze to do any damage to our setup. So you can't use that as a baseline for whether or not your rifle is truly accurate.
Right, and we've proven that again and again.
So now we're going to stick this baby on our token oak tree. This one we believe is actually big enough. What does that look like, Cliff? About 18 inches?
Yeah, maybe 20.
So we're going to use the strap method.
Well, I guess we're going to find out just how good this oak tree can shoot. We'll see if he can put a group down range with this. He's got no prior experience that I know of.
He's been witness to quite a bit of straight jacket shooting, though.
He's heard a lot of shots go by him.
So we're going to be mounting the shooting rest up here on this oak tree, and it has provisions for strapping it on. You can see, if you look carefully, that it's got little slots in the bracket, and it's got teeth, and it has two vertical edges that are serrated with those teeth. And it locks onto the tree pretty well. We didn't know till later that the tree itself was what was going to be our problem. We just never did get the mount to move on the tree. It was worked out pretty well the way, even with what some might think are some substandard straps, it actually held quite tightly. Now I'm going to put on the rear holding rest. This mount has some astronomical numbers of adjustments that can be made to it. It's got high precision turnbuckles, you can see, that'll give it your swing for windage and elevation. It's got scales on every moving part. It's got oil pumps, it's got oil reservoirs. You can use an innumerable number of bolt-on items that we have in a box along with it. It's just very flexible. You can basically do anything, and it's good for up to 7,500 foot-pounds of energy. So it should be pretty fun. You can see here it's got the cushioned shock absorbers that are adjustable. With no pressure, they barely even resist, but as pressure velocity accelerates, the resistance increases, so you can use up to that 7,500 foot-pound gun, and those little shocks just valve the fluid slowly out of the way, and you can turn your level bubble 90 degrees. It's a precision mounted level that can be switched from one direction to the other. I think it's really well made, and we're really fortunate to have this thing.
So, which way do we have to need? Oh, we've got to go that way.
Yep.
Maybe I ought to try to go that way.
Yep, there you go. So now we're moving good. Just keep going.
Yeah, it's moving. As long as it's easy, we're not fighting each other's threads.
So let's take a look and see we're gonna be. We gotta go another.
Sight right down the.
We gotta keep going. Get on paper here. So this mounting device for weapons testing is good for up to 50 BMG style weapons, and I believe there's only about 6 countries in the world and about 3 to 5 manufacturers in the world that even have one of these things. And this one's serial number 18. It does. It's quite a rig. We're almost ready to start loading it up for weapons. And the other thing we got to do is we've got to do, you can see right here, our track needs to be leveled.
Yeah. So how is it? This one?
These,
What's this one tightening
that one,
on the end? That's something that.
so evidently, this is a peril. All this time I was thinking, that is a peril.
Peril.
Well, okay, here it is, all ready to throw a rifle in, and we're gonna play with some 5.56 308 stuff for a little while, and see if this tree mount is adequate enough to do every time we want to do it, because normally we bolt it to something. So we'll fire this thing up. So we're gonna throw in a AR 308 into this thing, and this one has the Dracos straitjacket barrel system on it. It's gonna take a few minutes to get this all set up.
Probably should have taken that one right out. Put it. Steal the knob off it and just use these top four.
Yep. Back it up a little and get that out. Now we're gonna lock down our windage and elevation, and we're gonna take a shot.
We're using Black Hills Factory New.
Okay. I like Black Hills. They didn't sponsor us, but it's good ammo.
They should.
They should. Maybe they should. So just put one in there, and let's see where she hit. I suppose this might make a good remote sniper device. Didn't they have something like this in that movie Shooter?
I think they do.
Reach in there and squeeze the trigger.
Ears.
Ears. There you go. You look at this next clip, you can try as you might, you're not going to see any barrel whip occurring in the firing of that rifle. That's what you can attribute to the straitjacket barrel system and the Dracos barrels. So after this fires, it's going to move like this to some degree. That's loose. And then you have to push it ahead back to the forward stop after each shot. And you don't grab a hold of the rifle to do it, you push these railroad mechanisms. So now we're going to fire 5 rounds, and see what it does. We're going to fire 5 rounds, and we'll go take a look. Now, if that's really accurate, we're going to blame it on the straitjacket. So let's go take a look. Unload and clear. Okay, let's go. So you take a look at this target and you can see that 5 shots all came in good, but they're upwards of 3 inches. The 3 peripheral ones are the ones that were being moved as the tree trunk was shifting in the wind. And the 2 center ones are roughly within a ½ inch of point of aim. Good rest. So now we're going to try 5 more rounds, and we're going to check between each shot and make sure that it's still aimed where it was for the first shot, which is 2 inches high and 2 inches left on our target. So still aim 2 inches high, 2 inches left, all the way forward. It's actually 3 inches high, 2 inches left. moved a little tiny bit, but not enough. You know what I'm picking up? Picking up a sway of this magnificent oak. Seems to be all windage movement. Clear. So you take a look at this target, you see all 5 of our new rounds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you got about 3/4 of an inch of 5 shots with another 5 rounds from both groups spread out by the tree trunk.
Quite a bit of wind, and that's what we were contending with. We were trying to make a very solid device, mechanical device, work with nature. And I think, you know, in any event, we're better off to use us as the nature part of the test. So we're talking sandbags versus machinery. The machinery was very precise, very good at what it does, but it's difficult to get those mechanical things to work in conjunction with natural world. And if you notice how much breeze, it doesn't look like a lot. You'd never notice that tree moving, but we were getting 8 inches of swing back and forth on the target through the scope. That's a major amount.
Is there any question have
wanted to tack him down just so we could see movement.
Yeah.
Well, how'd that go up here yesterday, Cliff? Anyway, I missed it.
Well, we had, it was a perfect day. We thought it was perfect. There was a low wind and 5 knots. We strapped onto the oak tree, and believe it or not, even with the light wind we had yesterday, that tree was moving our
Oh yeah, a
scope.
lot of leverage.
Yeah, a lot of sail area. So we decided we had to come up with something a little bit more stable. Wasn't sufficient in its stability. So what we decided is we needed to get something that was a little bit more apt to not move on a windy day. Maybe this will work. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I think that might do it.
Hey Al, we think this will work?
A little more stable platform.
Yeah, I'm thinking this will have to do.
Consider.
We almost got this thing on here. It's kind of like making sausage, but
Consider the fact that the bottom ones are supporting it up and down.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too bad.
so we spent a few minutes, about, I don't know, 45 minutes. We pieced together a couple of attempts and we came up with
They're awful close.
just a couple of quick angle iron brackets and bolted this sucker on here, and it worked out pretty well.
As we say in Maine, wicked sharp.
A lot of wiggle room in it still.
I don't think this is a normal attachment for the Liebherr 932.
I think it's right in the direction it says right here. If you're doing leaf
So we got a little bit of rubber in here to go metal to metal. Would allow us some kind of recoil-based slippage.
you don't
so-
get much better than that.
We've got the metal to metal thing going on here. So we put in a couple of layers of some rubber to take that possibility
Cliff, run
out.
around that side and grab that adjustable and hold the back side of this bottom one.
And we got
This one.
4 half-inch bolts holding it in place with some nice thick angle iron brackets back there. And I think we're going to have this thing mounted extremely rigid when we get done with this. See if this one's spinning. I did look in the manual, and it turns out this is optional equipment for this.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well then,
I guess that's what this hole right here is for, is installing
Okay.
a stable.
I think it's going to be solid enough. It's going to be a lot better than the tree. I'm curious as how well you can aim the gun with that excavator.